Follow me.
Mama, you are such a great warrior.
Do not underestimate your journey extends far beyond this village. You will live wars, but also greater than us.
Brother, be quick. I don't like to be here alone. What is it?
It's a slave ship. We're gonna take us in it.
What will you do against the white man? Huh?
Sometimes I think of jumping off this ship. Death is better than slavery.
And joining me here in studio is Maya Kahavi, the co-founder of Tel-Stories and co-creator of Equiano.Stories, and Yvonne Barnefo, who is the executive producer, cultural consultant at Tel-Stories. Ladies, thank you both so much for coming in to chat to us this evening. Firstly, I'm really interested into why you chose to tell the story of this little boy who was sold into slavery.
Well, this is an incredible story. Olude Equiano, at the age of 11, he was taken from his home in Igbo land, and he was taken into slavery. And he actually bought his own freedom after 20 years or so. Wow. And he wrote his own memoir, published it, and that memoir helped to end slavery in England. So that is an incredible story, and we wanted to tell it.
Highly, highly important, isn't it, Yvonne?
It is, yeah. And it's one of the very few accounts of what life was like in the 18th century in West Africa. So it's a kind of window into what life was like.
Yeah.
We really wanted to tell, to show the connections between Equiano, his mother, his sister, his father, his community, which he described so beautifully in his memoir.
The clip looks very, very moving. And, this film was made for Instagram, just like the other one you guys did, about the Jewish teenage girl living there in Nazi Germany. Tell us about the idea behind making films or series for Instagram. It was hugely popular when you released that one.
This genre is really unique. We noticed that it captures the young generation in a way that large theater films don't really do. I mean, this genre is extremely intimate, it's on the mobile, and it forces the viewer to engage constantly. In this film, we have 500 stories. And so we're asking the viewers to come back to the film at least 200 times. We're asking questions, we're interacting with the viewer, and it's not us, it's Olude Equiano. So it's a very exciting genre, and we can see that it's creating really interesting connections between the character and the audiences that are watching.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there, Yvonne?
My thoughts for this particular project is most times when people are talking about slavery, it looks like life for African Americans and people of African descent started from slavery. But this project actually goes back to Africa to show that they had a life before being enslaved. So it's a very unique story in that it's the origin story starts from freedom and then the slavery, and then
and really showing this happy, lovely life, that they did have before all of that happened. And I guess with this Instagram sort of business and the way you can, as you said, go back to this story, it will really help out these Gen Zers, who don't have the same sort of concentration span perhaps as we may, like you said, you can really go back and get back into it.
I mean, they're incredibly concentrated, this generation, but they're kind of tired of this old school format. They want something that feels real, and that's what we're doing at Stello as well. We actually see ourselves as a collection of voices. We don't think the generation wants to hear one voice anymore. We think they want to hear a collection, and that's why Yvonne is with us, and we had so many different storytellers joining us together to tell this story.
And Yvonne, I want to ask you, how difficult was it sort of to stick to historical accuracy, and at the same time keeping this story sort of short and fast-paced for these people?
As Maya said, we have an incredibly wide team of contributors, storytellers, historians. So we went to scholars all over the world, from South Africa to London and the US, to do research, and then we also had focus groups. And we also went back to Igbo land, and just anyone that could contribute, we went to the person.
Yeah. Can you guys give us a heads up, as to any other sort of projects in the pipeline?
So we're actually going to be telling 10 stories. After the success of Eva Stories, we've committed to telling 9 more stories. Equiano is the second film in a series of 10. And the whole idea is to tell 10 incredible stories of 10 young people who documented their lives during remarkable moments in history. And these young people documented what they went through, and the world needs to hear their stories. So we are committed to telling 9 more.
Well, ladies, you're doing a really, really great thing. Thank you so much for coming in this evening. I'm really looking forward to watching it.